I'm Dan Hicks, and I'm running for re-election as your Scurry County Judge. Over the last 3 years, we've made some progress, but there's still some work to do. When I came into office, our funds were depleted. We didn't have an emergency reserve fund. Tax dollars are prepaid for the next year were being used for that budget year, and our credit rating was dropping. Since then, we've improved our credit rating, created an emergency reserve fund that will continue to grow, have over $3 million in reserves, and we're not borrowing from next year's tax dollars to stay afloat this year. We've had some retirements in key areas, and those people will all be missed. But we've hired some really great people who are looking at their departments with fresh eyes and new, exciting ideas. We have a good start, like I said, but we still have a ways to go. So here's the first question. In your mind, what are the two most crucial issues facing the county, and how will you solve or resolve them? Tax-based diversity and expansion. Scurry County is in a great position to be an energy innovator, a leader in all forms of energy, just as we have been with oil and gas. Not at the expense of oil and gas, but in conjunction with oil and gas. We need all forms of energy. Oil and gas will never be replaced, but it can be supplemented with wind and solar and stored in the newest battery technology. When these industries come to Scurry County, they bring the services for these industries. How many wind energy trucks do you see today compared with just 5 years ago? They bring many temporary jobs, filling our hotels and restaurants and spending money at our local businesses. Each project brings a few permanent jobs, but those few jobs soon add up to many jobs when we bring increased energy diversity. Since the 1950s, oil and gas has been Scurry County's bread and butter, but it's also caused us grief. We've seen and felt the many booms and busts with oil and gas. Every time the oil price drops, we lose oil service industry jobs and businesses. We've all seen families forced to move from Scurry County because of this. My family's no exception to this rule. With energy diversity, we don't have to feel those lows, and we can prosper more during the highs. Diversity shares and lightens the tax burden. The more we grow in energy, the more we can lighten that burden for everyone. We know that over 80% of the taxes paid to Scurry County are paid by mineral owners. Let's spread that out and bring more jobs and families to Scurry County and other areas of the energy industry. Here's the next question. How important are quality of life organizations that the county helps to fund, such as the EMS, airport, golf course, parks, senior center, historical groups, Boys and Girls Club, and library, among others? Are you considering cutting any of these? You can discuss specific ones if you want. Each one is extremely important to someone or a group of someone's or to everyone. I think they're important to everyone. In other counties, most of these quality of life organizations are owned or operated by cities or nonprofits. Scurry County is unique from other counties in that the county we provide most of these quality of life services. EMS is many times privately owned, but still heavily subsidized by cities or counties. And I dare say EMS is a necessity and not a quality of life issue. Libraries, airports, golf courses, and health departments, are all owned by cities and sometimes privately owned. Senior and youth centers are mostly nonprofits. The welfare department, who helps with medications, paying electric bills, giving rides to doctor's appointments or paying for rides to doctor's appointments, providing medical equipment like walkers and wheelchairs and all sorts of different medical needs. They're probably our most unknown commodity here in Scurry County. Did you know they've helped over 250 people in the last year? Our historical groups do an excellent job in preserving Scurry County history on a shoestring budget. Every one of these quality of life departments has a vibrant and excited support system. You might be a part of that support system. Remember this, only about 17% of your total tax bill pays for everything Scurry is required by law to have in all of these quality of life programs. And they do that, they add quality of life to all of us in Scurry County. I'm not considering cutting any of these departments. Here's the next question. What experience have you had managing money and budgets, and what thought process would you go through in deciding what to cut and what to keep in the county budget? As county judge and chief budgeting officer for Scurry County, I've led in putting together 3 budgets so far. I make it a point to visit every department several times throughout the year. Staying in touch with each department keeps you informed of the issues they have or they might have in the future. It's also a great way to know all of our employees and the people who utilize the services Scurry County provides. I don't believe as county judge I can make an informed decision on a department if I don't go to each of them and know the people and the needs of that department. The first step we take in the budget process is a meeting with the elected official or the department head. The county auditor, county treasurer, commissioner, and I are all in those meetings. Each of the 27 departments is divided among the 4 commissioners, so each commissioner sits in at least 6 of those meetings. The auditor, treasurer, and myself sit in all 27 of those different department budget meetings. These meetings bring to light any issues with equipment, software, existing programs, or any other innovative ideas that they might have. Discussions are had regarding new requests or issues that need to be resolved and what those might cost. We're always looking for ways to save the taxpayers money, and one of those ways is with grants. We're currently seeking over $5 million in grants. Each year, EMS, the library, the senior center, and all the other departments seek ways to lower the burden on the taxpayer. Remember, we're taxpayers also. Last question. Maintenance of the roads are a big part of the county budget. How would you manage the road crews, and how would you go about ensuring that the county roads are in excellent condition? The roads and the crews are the responsibility of each precinct commissioner, and I leave it to them to make the decisions about the roads in their individual precincts and their crews. As an elected official, you can't tell another elected official what to do or how to do it. I would, however, like to see if there's a way during the budget process to ensure that we're not over budgeting for roads. There have been many times in the recent past when lots of money's been put into the reserve fund, Road and Bridge Reserve Fund, because the funds weren't used. I hope to work with the commissioners to ensure we're using tax dollars in the most efficient way possible. Your county judge does not do just budgeting. Each department usually comes to the county judge if they have something they need assistance with. All Class B and Class A misdemeanors come through county court. All probating of wills and all guardianships are the responsibility of the county judge. In the past 2 years, I've completely changed the guardianship process to include a court visitor and a hearing to more protect the ward. We need to protect those who can't protect themselves, and we've found several cases where people were being taken advantage of or had even died with no notification to the court. The county judge is also the emergency management coordinator for the county, and I regularly meet with all of the entities in Scurry County to stay apprised of what's happening in our community. We also do magistration of those who've been jailed. I've performed several inquests when both of the justices of the peace are unavailable. And these aren't all the responsibilities of the county judge, but it's a decent representation. I'm always looking for a better or more efficient way of doing things. I'm proud to be your county judge, and I will always keep your interests first because your interests are my interests. I've been in this community for over 30 years, and I've served you in several capacities. This is my home. I want to make it and keep it the best home possible for your family and for mine. Thank you for taking the time to listen to me today. My name is Dan Hicks, and I hope I get your vote for county judge. Thank you.